Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Sean XA, and the first thing I want to say is I know that for like what, bruh? My 10 to 5 concurrent viewers out there, bruh. Right? I know the first thing y'all niggas thinking is this dude's making a video on the Barbie movie in 2023? Indeed, I am. And what you call it? So here's the reason why. So first thing that I want to start off with is I have to be, first of all, my eyes. I was not looking at this movie at all, whatsoever. Like when it first came out, my whole family was going to see it and stuff like that, and it just was not on my radar. You know what I mean? Because I'm a guy, you know. So for me, I'm like Barbie. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like if they made a movie about like Hot Wheels or something to me. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean Hot Wheels. I think it was called Hot Wheels back in the day. Like, you know, and stuff like that, right? So for me, going into it, right, the first thing I thought was, oh, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, like the stereotypical Barbie movie. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that'll be like the first thing that you would think of, like, you know, just something with a lot of humor, a lot of not cringiness is like the word for it, but you know, just like a lot of that, right? Which, like, you know, I think that the movie has like its fair share, you know, of humor and everything else like that. But first, let me get on to, like, you know, my own little personal like movie review type thing, right? So for me, I haven't done one of these in like a minute. Like it's been a hot minute. Like what? Like I think like the last thing that I reviewed was an anime probably like 4 years ago now on my channel. I might be wrong on that, but you know what I'm saying. It's been a hot minute since I've done it, and that's a good reason. That's because I mostly like to focus on, like, you know, video game content or like video game news, and I was this close because you guys know Evo is happening right now, right? And usually I'd be streaming Evo or covering Evo, you know what I'm saying? Just a whole bunch of news, which I will be back on because I want to get back on my YouTube grind soon. And I always say that, but I just got my microphone cord back and everything else like that. I am ready to get started. All right, anyway, on with the video. So first thing I want to say is I was genuinely surprised going into this movie. Like, if you have zero interest going into the movie, I would still recommend watching the movie anyway, because that's how good the movie is. I know a lot of people, what you call it, like, you know, like people just online and stuff like that will tell you, oh, don't go watch this movie, blah, 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 whatever. It's probably coming from one side or the other, you know what I'm saying? The movie is actually a pretty good movie. Warner Bros. Don't copyright me for none of this. I'm not using no audio. I'm not using no audio for this. So please leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? Leave the small YouTube boys alone. All right. So first thing I want to say is I don't think I have any genuine like criticism for it. You know, like going in, I guess the first thing that you can think is, oh, you know, like it's one of these movies or it might be cringy. But I think the movie picks up pretty fast. Like, it doesn't waste too much of your time in the very beginning with the whole mantra of, like, you know, of what you think that the movie is going to be, which I appreciate. You know what I'm saying? Like, probably like what, like the first maybe 45 minutes of it, like, you know, it's probably what you thought the movie was gonna be before you actually fucking, you know, watched it or whatever, or like, you know, got into it. Now, like, you know, the plot's like a little bit cliche, but of course, because it's trying to sell you on the emotional aspect of the movie. You know, it's not gonna be the deepest like storytelling, as in like the adventures physically that people go through, but like emotionally, like inside of people and stuff like that, extremely fucking deep, extremely deep. You know, so I'd say on the surface level, you know, don't expect fucking like, you know, like just a huge grand, where the fuck, very much an emotional movie, bruh. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of stuff is just gonna go over like a lot of people's heads naturally. And it's funny because it's something that the people, or like, you know, that the people like in the movie talk about, like, you know, which is ego, you know, and all that stuff. I feel like a lot of people's ego is gonna prevent them from watching / liking the movie, just 100%, which is really frustrating. Like, you know, and stuff like that. Like I had said today, I'm almost annoyed that this movie had to go through the box office and make money to even be a movie, because I feel like it's just an experience. You know what I'm saying? Like a human experience. Like something that you should watch when you turn 20 or 21 or something. You know what I'm saying? Like it hits deep towards the later parts. You know what I'm saying? Of the movie. And stuff like that. And it's funny because the movie has a PG-13 rating, right? Movie is pretty deep. I cried during the movie, and I'll admit it. I cried during the movie. It was a really good movie. You know what I'm saying? So first thing I'd start off is, you know, That's probably like my only criticism, if you can even consider that a criticism. One so the fuck ever, right? And it's crazy because it's like I think that they nailed the entire aesthetic, like everything, like the CGI. What the fuck? Sometimes you can't even tell what's CGI and what's not, bro. All the 2D like PNG images or what you call it, or like JPEG images were spot on, bro. Were actually spot on to the way that like the toys and like everything else is like just made or like manufactured in like the real world and stuff. Like the way that you would expect it to look, it looks just like that, and it's crazy because I have no clue how they pulled that off, but it's actually really impressive, and stuff like that. It's actually pretty impressive, and stuff like that, right? So the reason why I'm talking so general right now is because even though the movie's been out for like a week, maybe 2 weeks, it's not a movie that you want to spoil for somebody. You know what I'm saying? For real, I think. In my own words, so I'm trying my best to kind of play around that, you know what I'm saying? But if we're talking in general, I'd say there's 2 main characters, maybe 3, but I'd say 2 main characters, right? Going through their own emotional journeys and stories, depending on not just who they are, but their gender and the way that society treats those genders and those people, just in general, right? And not realizing that the way they act is confined within their genders, the way that they've been raised, with the way that society is, stuff like that, and breaking out of that. That's all you're gonna get from me, because you have to watch the movie to kind of understand, really the gist of it. And I really feel like the trailers don't do it justice. I've seen most of the trailers for Barbie, and I didn't grip it. I didn't go, oh man, I gotta go to the theaters immediately, like right now. But it's definitely one of the movies where I feel like you should go to the theaters immediately, right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like, you know what I'm saying? The promo was really up there, though. I just feel like the trailers itself. But you know what? It's hard to sell that through a trailer. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you going to sell the emotional aspect of a full movie through like 3 or 4 trailers? You can't. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen unless these characters have, like, a legacy of, like, oh, man, this is the 5th movie in the trilogy. You know what I'm saying? And, like, everything else like that. So, for me, and stuff like that. I'm not very good with actors and stuff, so I don't know a lot of people in here and stuff. Which is actually good, because you can't even say like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Well, like you're biased towards the movie. I don't even know who half of these people are, and I enjoyed the movie. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like towards the end of the movie and stuff like that, it's a movie that you want to take a message from or learn from, and not be wrapped up in your own idiotic ideal ideas, because that's literally the point of the movie. Stop it. Just watch the movie and have fun. And you know what? Even if it wasn't that deep for you or whatever, it's still a fun and interesting movie. You know what I'm saying? Or just a good vibes movie, I feel like. So with Evo and Street Fighter and everything being around the corner, I'll get to it. You know what I'm saying? I'll get to it. But I had to, guys, let you know that I watched Barbie, and I had to give it a 10 out of 10. My favorite movie, or my favorite live action movie of all time, is called Interstellar. I'm sure a lot of people know what that is by now, because back when it dropped, it was like huge. This movie is a 10 out of 10, and I didn't even grow up with a lot of the stuff in said movie. You know what I'm saying? I like how they have things for both target demographics. And even if you're like one gender or the other or whatever, you can definitely feel for both or / 3 characters, or all the characters in the fucking story, which is great. That's always good to aim for. I would say the general public, but it doesn't do it in a way to where it plays it so safe. I won't say the name of it, but in some of my other favorite media and stuff, they play it so safe to the point where they're catering to their new fans so hard that they leave behind the legacy of the franchise, and it's so frustrating and annoying when they do that. This movie does not shy away from leaning towards one side or the other, extra, to the point where it makes you feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? And I like that. It's not afraid. I feel like it had the best of all worlds, with the 2 main characters, cool, and then I want to say maybe the third 2 main characters, and all that kind of represent the, how the general public and stuff feels. I feel like it was a really good balance, Of course, it's a PG-13 movie, Of course it's going to be silly. It's going to have, humor, weird moments, definitely a lot of fucking weird moments, and it's great. I'd say go watch it. Definitely a recommend. And I was going to say something else, but then I low-key completely forgot. Either way, go watch the movie. It was an amazing movie. 10 out of 10. Completely recommend. Just chat next day. I'm out. Expect a video from me tomorrow or even the day after, because whatever character wins Evo, I'm down playing for sure. But that's a whole different story. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.